you have what it takes to be the next future star of wrestling? The #1 training facility in the Southwest is enrolling new students for a career in professional wrestling.
Do you have what it takes to be the next future star of wrestling? Come see us today.
Our all-star staff includes WWE legend D'Lo Brown, TJ Perkins, Kenny King, and Sin Bodhi. Training for all ages, including our weekly kids class. For more info, visit fswvegas.com.
An outsider of any type of sorts, but it's been a year since Brian Cage has been in Las Vegas competing. He took on Matt Riddle at the Mecca show a year ago.
That is correct, and When Stars Collide, many people had one of the matches, the FSW match of the year with Sami Callihan and Keith Lee.
Yeah, that match was absolutely incredible. Hammerstone, he's not used to being outdone when it comes to pose downs.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking that that was a fight Hammerstone was going to win.
He picks a lot of fights, and he usually figures out a way to win. That wasn't one of them, but the most important one is this matchup. Who's going to advance?
You know, when Brian Cage was making the rounds here in FSW, becoming the FSW heavyweight champion, didn't really run into Hammerstone, who was involved with the tag team with the Gods of War, very young in the business, but he was still moving along, you know, doing some great things. And now, finally, we get that matchup here.
Hammerstone, like you said, he was still very young to the sport at the time. He wasn't at the level of Brian Cage at the time, but tonight he's going to prove he's at Cage's level. When you talk about someone like Cage, you should put Hammerstone in the same sentence as him.
There's a few people trying to get that Hammerstone chant out.
They're going to have better luck with the single H one. I guarantee you this is going to be better than their match at Royal Rumble 2003.
And that's one thing, Hammerstone, maybe he doesn't realize that he's going to be able to win that. And down goes Hammerstone. Vicious shoulder takedown from Brian Cage.
Hammerstone, nice dropkick out of Hammerstone. Hammerstone's not used to somebody who can match strength with him. The thing is, Cage has much better agility. Cage, more experience. But Hammerstone has that drive to do whatever it takes to win.
And that's what I was going to say. Hammerstone, for a big guy, he's pretty agile and can do some good things, and in most cases. But we know Brian Cage is one of the most athletic big mans in the history of this business.
Absolutely. Men aren't supposed to move like Brian Cage. Men of any size.
And look at that. Hammerstone hold down to the rope.
Well, there's Hammerstone. He took a solid advantage. He took advantage. Saw something he took advantage of, but look at Brian Cage. Hammerstone doesn't know what to make of this. You don't know how to prepare for Brian Cage. You can't even name a single weakness in Brian Cage's game. And that's what Hammerstone does. He usually prides on his opponent's weaknesses.
What I'm more impressed with Brian Cage wearing the FSW colors, represented with the orange and black right there.
Hey, this is his night. First big success he had in pro wrestling was with FSW. Brian Cage has held over 25 championships in his career, including the FSW title.
And Brian Cage was a very important person when we were putting together When Stars Collide, which basically became the first Mecca, recommending guys like Keith Lee into the mix, of Sammy Guevara, some of the young superstars that we brought in. Courtesy of my guy Brian Cage, some good phone conversations. Even though he wasn't part of FSW, he was a guy who liked to give back and help us out.
And look at the strength of Hammerstone, who's able to regain the advantage in this matchup. He's going to have to sustain this momentum, though. He's got to wrestle his style of match. He's got to slow the pace down, but is that possible against Cage?
The thing here is, the Mecca tonight, there ain't no bathroom break matches. There's no filler matches. This is just, this is match 2. Yeah. This is a main event anytime here in FSW. And Scorpio Sky and Chris Bay is a match that's a main event match.
He just dropped Hammerstone right on the edge of the ring. Referee laying in the count, but He's going to have to use some discretion with that. No one wants to see this one end in any way other than a decisive winner.
And Brian Cage trying to get the crowd behind him. And he nails Cage right under the jaw.
Insane in height and extension on that drop kick.
Oh, and look at this. He's stealing a page out of Cage's book.
He might be the one guy that can actually steal pages out of Cage's book when it comes to offense. Oh man, he leveled him.
Beautiful sidestep by Hammerstone. Connects with the knee, and look at this.
Seesaw pile driver out of Hammerstone.
And this could be it. The cover, 1, 2. And Brian Cage kicks out before the 3. Another great matchup. You know, we showed the athleticism. We had Sky and Bay, and now we got the bruiserweights. You know, a little bit of everything here at FSW Live at Samstown.
That's what the Mecca's all about, finding the men who are the best at their style of pro wrestling.
And Hammerstone with those clubbing.
Then a headshot.
With the bicycle kick to the side of the head. This could be it for Brian Cage. Oh, and look. Hammerstone trying to work in some submission.
He teamed with one of the best submission specialists in wrestling for the early part of his career. He learned a lot there. But that's what he has to do. You have to ground Brian Cage. His offense is so explosive. You don't want to be within his grasp. But now Cage fighting back up.
Oh, and he nails Cage with the knee right to the jaw. You know, as we said before, when Hammerstone was stepping up and he wrestled Sami Callihan and Moose, you know, he's a guy who's as good as it's going to get. You know, guys like Kevin Cross, Brian Cage. 1, 2.
Hammerstone escaping disaster. Didn't get the victory, though, but at least he didn't get concrete crashed by Cage. Hammerstone ascending to the top. He's trying to play Cage's game.
And the big man, 1, 2. And let me tell you something. To win this tournament, Hammerstone knows maybe he has to do some different things.
Yeah, you always got to switch up your game plan. You got to use what brought you to the dance, but you always have to keep your opponents guessing, and that's what Hammerstone's doing.
And Hammerstone is calling for the end of this matchup.
Uh-oh. This is not where Hammerstone wants to be.
And this could be it. The cover. 1, 2. Not enough. Not enough yet to put away Hammerstone. But these two big behemoths.
I don't want to say Hammerstone's safe, but he was smart to get himself out of anywhere he can be pinned. I was right. He's not safe.
And right now, as we said, when Hammerstone trying to pull the page out of the book of Cage. And here he is, Brian Cage. And look at the power.
With ease.
1, 2.
2 count only. Hammerstone keeping himself alive. Got a man who thinks of himself as a god against the machine. First round matchup, FSW Mecca Grand Championship Tournament.
And look at this, Cage has him up.
Tried to put him down, trying the bicycle kick now, but Cage catches him and delivers a super kick.
And
Cage
Brian
now firing up the crowd. Charging in with a combo, finishing him off with a German. No, he's not done yet. Trying the discus lariat, but that time Hammerstone catches him.
And right now, reversal of fortune. And a huge power bomb by Hammerstone.
Oh, no! F5 and both men are down now, and after that exchange, I don't know who's going to get up first.
I'm going to tell you something, Jake. I'm going to believe that after this show tonight, nobody's going to have any idea which one they're going to pick for the match of the night.
No, it's going to be one of those ones where any single one of these matches can have match of the night, steal the show, whatever term you want to use.
And the crowd getting fired up. Brian Cage, Hammerstone, the second first round matchup to see who will join Chris Bay in the four-way elimination match to crown the Mecca Grand Champion.
Both men now just slugging it out, dead center of the ring. Trying to see who's got more left on those shots. Uh-oh. Cage brings him down. Swinging neck breaker. Hammerstone smartly retreating to the ropes and into the corner, but you're not safe against Cage. Oh, but Hammerstone catches him again with a drop kick.
And right now, but look at this, Brian Cage. Oh, and he gets caught.
That time he lures in Brian Cage, but Cage just absorbs that. Exploder suplex. Into the corner. Hammerstone really popped his hips on that one to get the big man over.
You know what? Brian Cage looked like he was trying to put away Hammerstone, and he had an answer for Cage each and every time. As Hammerstone surpassed Cage.
We're going to find that out. If Hammerstone can keep this up, he may have.
And look at that.
Didn't get all of them, but he was able to send Cage down. Cage, not a lot behind that kick out. But he was able to get the shoulder up.
And once again, Hammerstone is proven again to the fans who may not care for him, but he is one of the best in the business. Young superstar, just 25 years old. And he connects.
Yeah, roared in with that rolling elbow, and now he's looking for that stonebreaker to put away Cage. Oh, but he wasn't able to hold him.
1, 2.
He dropped Cage.
Face first.
But he smartly went for the cover. It wasn't the stonebreaker he was looking for, but it still was effective.
And Hammerstone trying to finish off the machine.
Oh, short headbutt. Rolling soul butt.
On connects with the knee. And Cage.
Super buckle bomb. There's the discus lariat.
The cover, 1, 2, 3, and there you got it.
Your winner of the match and advancing to the finals of the Mecca Grand Champion Tournament, the Machine, Brian Cage.